I have built multiple businesses to the level of 7 figures. As a matter of fact, I've already built 2 businesses by the time I'm 26 years old, up to the point where it's doing 8 figures a year in sales. And how do I do that? How do you scale businesses? So many entrepreneurs out there are running their businesses and they're settling in this 5 to 6 figure mark, and they don't know how to get to the 7 figure. $1 million a year, multi-million dollars a year, 10 million. They don't understand how to scale. So these are the top 3 things that you need to understand about how to scale your business to the 7 and even 8 figure levels. Number 1 thing you need to understand is systems. Simple systems scale businesses. That's a very cute way of saying it, but it's true. Simple systems is what's going to help you scale. When you have an overly complicated system in your business, then it's very difficult to manage. And you need to take away as much energy as you can into things that don't provide energy into the growth of the business. That doesn't provide money and focus into the growth, the marketing, the sales, the actual expansion of your business. If you're so focused and there's so much time spent on your systems because they're so complicated and they're so difficult to manage, then you have a serious problem. And maybe you don't have any systems at all. This is one of the key things you need to understand. In order to create systems, you need to understand how to automate things. You need to leverage technology. You need to have the right software. You need to have an exact detailed game plan of what happens in the back end of your business. Once you have a detailed, simple system in your business, then you can scale. Then you can throw money at it and you start marketing it in any way you want to. You ramp up sales because your systems are in place to allow you to do so. So number 1 thing you need to understand about growing your business is you need to set in stone what your systems are. You need to keep them simple. You need to make sure you're using the right technology and automate. So if you don't know how to use Zapier, Google it. You need to use Zapier. You need to take advantage of technology, especially as a newer entrepreneur, as someone who's just growing their business in the 5 and even 6 figure a year type business model. You have to leverage technology. Number 2 is build a team. I see so many entrepreneurs running a business and they're solopreneuring it. Them alone, they're customer service, they're the janitor, they're also fulfillment, they're also sales, they're also marketing, they're everything. And you're probably watching this. Maybe you have a couple people on your team helping you. Maybe you've outsourced to a couple of VAs. But the truth is, in order to grow a 7 and even 8 figure business, business is a game of people. The more people you have on your team, the bigger your business will get. It's just math. How many people can you talk to? How many hours in a day do you actually have? You have 24 hours a day, same as everybody else. I have 24 hours in a day. You have 24 hours in a day. So what's the difference between you and me is I can now leverage other people. People talk about leveraging OPM, other people's money. What's more important is to leverage OPN, other people's networks. If you have more people that you can dive into their networks, that you can help spread the message, or you have a team to help carry a larger load, you then have a bigger business model that's a lot easier to scale. One of the first things you need to invest in your business is to hire more people. It's also one of the scariest things anyone ever does because everyone's so focused on paying their own bills, making money for themselves. But as a business owner, you need to think along the lines of, how do I make enough money to pay 10 and even 20 full-time salaries? How do I pay people a full-time salary every single year? That needs to be your focus. You'll never hit the 7 and even 8 figure mark and be able to stay consistently there unless you build your teams. So the first thing you need to invest in is to start hiring more people. You need people on your team, on your side to help expand and grow, leverage their time, leverage their network, and build up the size of your empire that you're actually growing. So that's number 2. Number 3 thing you need to understand, it's okay to go negative. What I mean by this is going negative in a business is not always a bad thing. A lot of times when you scale a business, when you look at the amount of money you have in the bank account, when you look at the amount of money you have in the business account, the amount of capital you have, the amount of assets you've built up, it's okay to go negative because a lot of times when you scale, you have to invest a lot of money into the scaling process. So what happens is you'll see your net worth, the amount of money that you have, actually go down. And that's okay. In order to go up, you have to go back down first. And that's one of the scariest things for people when it comes to scaling their business to go to the next level is they want to maintain this certain level that they don't ever want to go backwards. But the truth is, you have to invest. You have to do things that are scary. You have to push to a new level. So in order to do that, you're going to have to throw money at it. You're going to have to put a lot of time and effort into it, which will probably make your efforts, your revenue, maybe even dip. I've experienced this multiple times as I scale. Every time we try to go to a new level, going from 7 figures to 8 figures is a massive leap. And the only way to do that is to throw a lot of money at it, to go negative in order for us to go positive. You have to be willing to go negative, and meaning actually lose a little bit of ground before you gain the ground back. So be okay with going negative in your accounts. Be okay with investing. It's okay to go backwards sometimes because you're trying to push forward. You're trying to do everything you can to invest in something new. And by the way, when you scale, it's never immediate. It takes time to build the systems. It takes time to train people. It takes time to get everything functioning on the same level. Like a car engine, this has to be firing at the right time. This has to be, producing enough electricity, all these things. Everything has to be running in a symphony in order for you to scale. And sometimes when you add things on, it doesn't always work out the way you want to. So you're gonna go backwards a little bit before you have to go forward. So those are 3 things you need to understand about scaling your business. And if you do that, you will for sure be able to go from 6 to even 7 figures by making sure your systems are simple and scalable. Simple systems scale businesses. Number 2, you need to build your team. Number 3, be okay with going negative, because once you go negative, now you can go forward.